Hi, my name is Rusenica. Welcome to my casual YouTube channel where I talk about casual or monumental things related to my life. And today I want to talk about something that's like a little bit casual related to a monumental moment in my life, which was my wedding. And I wanted to get into every single cost of the wedding because I think it's so important that brides share their experience with other brides. And I'm pretty sure that if anybody comes from this video who doesn't know me, they're specifically looking to see what expenses they need to save up for and like to compare other people's experience. And as a college student, as a former college student who was just saving up money from my minimum wage job, I was looking high and low through YouTube to make sure that I was getting exposure to other people's experiences. So before I get into how much the wedding cost, I have every single expense right here. A little bit of background on me and my husband while we were wedding planning. We got engaged on February something of 2021, and we got married on May 22nd of 2022. So we had about a year and some change of time to plan our wedding, which means that we had time to save up money. Right when we got engaged, I so badly wanted to elope because I so badly did not want to pay any money related to this wedding because I just have heard all of the outrageous costs of what it takes to plan a wedding, and I just was not about it. I was like, I really don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a single day for people who I'm trying to please. Like, I've been a people pleaser my whole life and I've just now stopped, but here I am again spending thousands of dollars for a wedding, because weddings really are essentially for the guests. And yes, it is a day about love, but it's also a day about heavy stress and good impressions and borderline like performances, really. I digress. I worked 2 jobs throughout college, and then he worked 1 job, and the bulk of what we spent came from us. We had a little bit of financial support from our parents like months in, but before that we were not expecting anybody to help us. We were not asking for anybody to help us. We were both very independent people, and I really want to stress that because especially when you're younger, I noticed amongst my peers, because I went to a Christian college and like everybody was getting engaged the minute one person got engaged. I want to stress this: a lot of people have financial support from relatives and other people, and that's really great, but as 2 independent people, it's really hard to save up and to make money when you're in school studying as well as working. Like there's not a lot of time to focus on planning or to save up. I did everything in my power to make as much money as I could, and it was very stressful. Do not recommend for your mental health if you're in school to plan a wedding as well, because it will send you over the edge. But okay, I'm gonna separate this into a couple different categories. So the categories of what I spent during my wedding are clothing, which is like the wedding dress, the alterations, and then I'm also gonna add maybe makeup inside there because I did my own makeup and I want to disclose how much I spent on that as opposed to what I would have spent on a makeup artist. So clothing, florals, stationery, ceremony, photographer, reception, food, cake and cupcakes, and decor. Just to be clear also, we had about 55 guests. I don't know the exact number. It could have been more, could have been less. It was at minimum 50, at most 60, but I doubt it because it was looking really small. So we had 55 guests. We both started planning when we were 21-ish, maybe going on 22, and we both worked minimum wage jobs. And I think it's important to disclose that because you look at some other people's experiences and you're like, oh my gosh, how in the world am I gonna spend $50,000 on a wedding? This other 20-year-old did it, but they don't seem like they work and they have a wealthy family. So I'm just trying to let anybody know who maybe is in my position. If you're a student planning a wedding, you can do it if you really just put your mind to it. It is rough, it is tiring, it is stress, but if you really want to do it. For the clothing, I want to start off with the most important thing, and I think the very first wedding purchase that was ever made is my wedding dress. I went to a bridal shop, a consignment bridal shop with my mom and my sister, and spent about, well, I thought for sure I was going to spend my own money on my own wedding dress, and I tried to save up for it. But basically, I didn't pay for my own wedding dress, but I do know the cost because I was right there within the within the fitting, of course. My dress was originally a Calais Blanche, I don't know, but it was $1,200 and originally, and at the wedding consignment store we paid about $600. So that is the very first wedding expense. My veil slash necklace expense, my veil was like $50. We got it at like Party City because I really didn't care about having a veil, and my mom was like, you probably do want a veil. And like a couple days before we had the wedding, she just went to Party City and was like, if you want this, I can just get you this. And I was like, that's fine. And the necklace, I was a little bit more, I think it was around $50. And then I also had a tiara, or was that a crown? I'm gonna call it a crown because it just sounds better. I can't remember how much a crown cost, but I'm gonna guess in total it all added to the $50. It may be like 50 to 80 for the accessories. The alterations of my wedding dress costed a very cheap price. This is really unheard of. It was about $125, which never happens. So I just Google searched like wedding dress alterations and found the most kind woman who did it for such a cheap price because she liked me, which I think was like, it's just so nice. So $125. The makeup, I did not hire a makeup artist. I simply just bought higher end makeup that I could feel was good quality, and in total that was $80. Flowers, I don't care about florals. I didn't care about florals. I essentially just left that up to my sister and sister-in-law, and they bought the flowers day of. But like previous to that, we had meetings on what type of flowers I would like and what kind of colors I wanted. But we didn't go to like a florist. We didn't go to anybody. It was just my sisters really sweetly offering to arrange the flowers. So they got them at like Trader Joe's. No, I don't think it even was Trader Joe's. That sounds way too expensive. They got them at some random grocery store for $136, and I think my mom paid for that in total, but my sisters were the ones who arranged it. I'm gonna speed this up because my phone is going to die. Stationery. So stationery is invitations and thank yous. The invitations were $153, which I feel like was really good for the product that we got. We got, like I said, 55 invitations and set them out at a reasonable rate, within reasonable time. And then the thank yous only costed like $20. What am I saying? The thank yous for coming to our wedding only costed maybe like $14 in total. I didn't mention this, but we got our invitations from The Knot, and they were really beautiful. Highly recommend if you're planning a wedding to plan from The Knot. But then we sent our own envelopes with the thank yous by ourselves. For the ceremony, we just paid for the building. We went to Trinity Episcopal in downtown Wheaton. Very, very beautiful setting. And the standard rate on Sundays for the amount of hours that we had, I think we had 3 hours with the building. And then we had the wedding rehearsal before that. On Saturday for like an hour or two. We paid $850, which is unheard of because when you're looking for a wedding venue, it seemed like all of the wedding venues ran from a minimum like $2,000 to like $15,000 for a single day. So we really lucked out there. And sadly the coordinator fee was about $300, which is so unfortunate that you have to pay somebody to coordinate your wedding if you're getting it at the venue. Okay, the photographer, one thing that I do strongly believe that was advice that I kept seeing as I was looking through like doing my wedding research and like what to spend, is people say don't cheap out on your photographer. After seeing my photos, I completely agree. I'm so in love with my photos. I look at them all the time. And we spent $2,200 on our photographer because we had her for I think about 8 hours. She was worth every single penny because we had a bunch of different meetings just to talk about what we wanted and then just to lay expectations down, and she was just the best. If you need a photographer and you're in the Illinois area, please look up Kearney Ray Photo. And I just I will never have better looking photos ever. And if it only costed $2,200 to get there, I'm spending it again and again and again. The reception, we had our little party at Oak Park Conservatory, which was a very beautiful spot, and we spent $1,175. There's really not much to say about that other than when you get a cheap reception area or a cheap ceremony area, the risk of that is just that, like, I feel like there's no incentive for people who are doing that for you, there's no incentive really to do an amazing job because, like, you're paying like such a low amount of money. It was worth it for us to pay that little amount, but like when a venue offers such low amounts of money, they're not really help in relation to like food or decor. That's all I'm gonna say about that, because I felt like our people, they were open to our questions, but you could just tell they were bothered by them. Okay, so for food, luckily my mother-in-law was the sweetest. She paid for the food after though we paid the deposit. So me and my husband paid about $1,000 just to secure the food place, and then we were gifted the rest. But we were quoted, I'm gonna say quoted because I don't know the entire cost of what was added on at the very end, but we were quoted in total $3,809 in total for the food. So take that out. What we were gifted was essentially $2,809. So for the cake, we bought a cake and cupcakes, and I think in total everything was around $300, which is exactly what I was aiming for, and my lovely mother paid for that, which is so sweet, because it was around that time where I was like freaking out. I was like, I don't have money to like pay for gas, but yet I'm gonna buy cake and cupcakes for my wedding, the next paycheck that I get. Wild. And I just really appreciate her doing that for me. So decor, DIY was everything, okay? I DIY'd the whole entire thing. I'm gonna make a separate video about the wedding decor because it just is something that I looked up on YouTube, like every single little detail that I could see in relation to, I did everything to save as much money as I could. I did everything. So for the decor, I'm gonna show a little bit of what we did. So the centerpieces is essentially like the bulk of the decor, and we had like these for our decor. And so I bought like hula hoops and spray painted them and then put them around like green foam blocks and then covered them in fake florals and then put them on a charger plate and then put those in the middle of a table. So we had maybe 7 tables. I think this is a guesstimate. This is not like factual. And because I just can't remember how much we had, and I don't feel like going into looking at it. But okay, so if we had 7 tables, I'm just gonna guess that everything from the 7 relates to it. So most of what we had was from the Dollar Tree. So I spent $7 on hula hoops because it's 7 hula hoops, $7 on green foam blocks, $7 on charger plates, and then the other things were not from the Dollar Tree. So I spent $23 on glass circles because we had the little glass circles where the candle would go into them, and $10 for the LED candles that go into the glass circles. And then I had a Better Together neon sign, which I got off of Amazon, which is about $89, which is actually a steal because most of these like neon signs are very expensive, but like for good cost, like they're worth the money. But $89 was like the bare minimum. If you ever go into Amazon, you just Google neon sign, oh my gosh, I'm so idiotic, okay, and just look up neon sign. They're at minimum like $150 for like good big ones. We got a small one. We paid $12 for fake vines that would go all around the centerpieces, and then I spray painted everything gold, and I did about maybe 4 cans of spray paint, which I did not know I was gonna have to do. I thought I was gonna have to buy at minimum 2. So we did 4, and then I googled how much it costs which was $5.98. So altogether was about $29 of spray paint in total. And then for florals, fake florals, like decor floral, we got hydrangeas, white roses. I definitely bought fake leaves to like accentuate the foam blocks, and then other different florals. So altogether, we spent $10,041. One ceremony that is different than the reception with 55 guests. $10,041. I'm extremely proud that me and my husband were able to pay that, because we were both working minimum wage jobs. $10,000, even to somebody who's working on a salary, is a lot of money. Okay, so in total, that's what our wedding costed, $10,000. But in total, what me and my husband paid out of our pocket, aside from all the help that we received with the dress, the florals, the food, and the cake, in total, we paid $6,190 some dollars. So everybody else helped out with the rest, and we could not have paid it with additional support, but that's what we and my husband did as college students working minimum wage jobs. Like $10,000, I feel like to any average American is a lot. But yeah, that was the whole entire cost of our wedding. I'm gonna make separate videos into what it took to decorate and what it took to plan, because I think that there's a lot of value in just a regular person as opposed to like a YouTuber with like a lot of money, or just somebody who has a lot of money speaking on their experience, because normal people planning their wedding versus YouTubers making YouTube videos and making money off of them, it's a vast difference. There's a vast difference into what you can afford and what you are able to spend, and that's all I'm gonna say.